Hello, hello, and happy Monday, everybody. Thank you all for joining in. So excited to be here with you to create some content. And we know that over our past, over the past couple weeks, we've talked about all of the ideas, all of the ways in which the branding, the website, and then often we find ourselves in the pause, which is the frozen before implementation when something is challenging. And so maybe not, maybe you've been doing this for years and years or this is an easy push through, but I know for many of us, content creation and really getting into that next mode and implementing all that we've learned can be a challenge. So with that being said, we're going to be working with Canva today, and I'm going to be doing some screen share. You guys, I have to tell you, I am not a Canva expert. I am not a website designer. I'm not a designer of anything outside of things that make me happy and things that I believe are a good representation of the message I'm striving to share. So I believe that I'm really connected to my why. I know what's important to me, but that content creation is something that I've had to learn. And so I'm going to teach you guys the way that I utilize these applications to simplify my life. So I'm sure there are a million other applications. If you're someone who's more versed in all of the digital refinement and opportunities programs like Adobe and things like that, they are wonderful. But for someone like me, I need things that are quick and easy. I love templates. And I also love the ability to be able to modify. So we're going to get started right now. If you haven't already, what you can temporarily do just to begin is go to your app store and make sure you've downloaded on your phone Canva. It's a free application. Hopefully you came prepared to this call already having a free account with Canva. And your free account does come with a 30-day trial for the pro version if you put in your credit card. So you can cancel at any time. The pro version is about $12 a month. I'm not saying everybody needs that, but so you can decide if that is a need that you need to upgrade to. But it's great to try it for a month and see what the different uses are. And that way you know if that's a value that you need. Or maybe you want to just upgrade to it for a month or create a lot within this month, and then you can, get to the free version and it's no big deal. So we are going to start. If you have questions as we go, please, as always, put your information or your question in the chat below. And again, if you haven't already, we love that part of networking. So make sure that we have your social handles so that we can continue to follow one another. But what I'm going to encourage you to do right now is to actually, I'm going to first walk through and do just a quick tutorial, and then I'm going to actually have you do it alongside me. So to begin, we are going to share, I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to share my web browser. So your web browser could look slightly different than mine. I am working on a Mac, so I'm going to be using the Safari web browser. Can somebody give me a thumbs up? Just let me know that they see that screen. It's easy to go. Okay, so you guys, at this point, all I am is logged in. So if you have created a Canva account, you're gonna log in, you're gonna come to this. This is essentially your dashboard. And your dashboard gives you a lot of options. I told you I love templates. So I love that if I click on this template tab, I'm going to, and one of the things about running a big application like Zoom and Canva, they both pull a lot of, I don't even know what it's called in computer words, but it takes a lot of energy from the computer, which makes the computer run a little bit more slowly. So I apologize for any lag that you see in uploading and changing the site, but it is a site that requires a lot of something, strength, muscle, I don't know, but something computer-ish. That means that you need a lot of it. Okay. So, and hence, this is why I use Canva, because I'm not your computer girl. I know enough to be dangerous, enough to solve solutions. Google's my best friend whenever I need to fix something, but I consider myself resourceful, but definitely not, not an expert. Okay, so with templates, I love that with the templates, you can actually choose. And Drew, if anybody comes in with a question, please, if you'll just pop off, because I'm losing my chat window just to be able to be a little bit more fluid here. But you can actually browse by category. So what are you wanting to create content for? Are you wanting to create a flyer? Do you need a thumbnail for your YouTube video you just posted? Are you creating some business cards? Again, tons and tons and tons of templates. The other thing is that without even looking at the templates in the search bar, you can search a template. So we could just say Instagram, and it gives you all the different templates for all the different types of Instagram things, rather than the previous world of having to go out and find out what the actual dimensions of that need to be. They're preset for you, you guys. So all you have to do is, where are you posting? Okay, so we're gonna start with an Instagram post because I think it's easy, and I also think it's super relevant to all that we've been talking about. How do we connect with our customers? How are we showing up relevant and giving them information and gifting them during this time off? So once I select Instagram post, I can do a number of things. One, I could start with a blank template. Two, I could scroll down through here and look at all the different templates that they have. Another option is that you can use the chat. You can do the create a design box. So rather than using this and scrolling, you can hit create a design. You can go to social media, and in here, you actually can search the templates by typing something in. So an example, I'm just gonna type hair because that's our world right now. So I'm gonna type hair. You guys, I do have the pro version, like I said, so I'm gonna have access to a couple more things than you can. Canva does give you the opportunity to buy images as well. I'm gonna also teach you how to import some free ones or your own content if you have photos that you have taken of your own guests. But when you find a template that you like, so we're gonna go with this template. Never worked on it before, but I'm gonna just use this template. You have access to changing everything in this template. You don't like this color of the background? Simply all you have to do is click on that, click on the color, and you can choose any color. You can also see I have different branding colors that's done in what's called the brand kit here on Canva. We don't need to get all into that, but that's something I'm happy to talk about in a future video. But if I wanted a different color, I'm just gonna pick something. I can easily shift the color to something that may be more in alignment with the message. If you don't like the image, you can do nothing more than isolate it. The blue box means that it's isolated, and you can duplicate it. Maybe you want it to be more transparent, so you can change the transparency of that photo. Maybe you want to do some layering, so you could duplicate it and you could make the background one more transparent to give that shadowed effect, and the one in front of it less transparent, and you can layer them. Of course, in this design, that isn't amazing as far as the way that the finished look, but I'm wanting to show you the tools so you understand how to implement. The other thing is the position means where is it in relationship to the other parts of the template, so if I wanted this one to go backwards, what you see is it now was put behind this lower bar, and you can continue hitting forward and back and playing with where it is. You don't have to be crazy about it. If you ever have a problem or you do something you hate, this is an undo button. So it will quickly undo, and you can continue hitting undo all the way back until you're in your original form. So you're not ever stuck. Be playful, because if you hate something that you did, simply undo, okay? Up here, we're gonna put a name. This is how you're going to, as you start to create content, if everything has a description, then your folder will be easy to go through. So when we talk about really creating that content reserve, this is where you can play. You wake up and you're inspired. And if you're anything like me, there will be days that I wake up and I just am like on fire with inspiration. And then I think you all can probably also relate to that moment when you need something and your brain just won't function. So that's why the content reserve is so important. And you can build all of that right here on Canva and open it up and quickly post to social. And that is a great way to continue moving through. So another thing, text boxes. This is how you can change your font. You can choose anything that has a little crown next to it means you must be a pro user if you don't want to pay an additional fee. So if you're staying with the free options, choose brand fonts that come for free. Obviously, with your font, there's a sizing option, a color option, and with many of the fonts, you do have the bold or italics option. Not with everyone. There are some that can't be done in that way. And then, of course, the format. Where do you want that to be aligned in relationship to the box? But maybe you are starting without a template. So I like the templates because they're a great place to get in and someone else has laid it out for you, so you can just make some small adjustments. But now I'm going to go back and show you what it would look like with some of our own content in there, starting from scratch. So we're going to go back to the home button. And as I described, as you create more content, it will all be saved here. So I'm going to just show you guys the backside of some of mine. So all of my designs that I've made over the years, they're all in here, just over and over and over. There's so many of them, you guys. I use this for all of my business applications in life. So they're just in there. You can create folders in the design pro option. You can create a brand kit. So in the brand kit in here, you can choose your brand logos. You can choose different color schemes, different fonts. So all of this gives you the opportunity to truly personalize your experience. But we're going to go back and I'm going to show you a starting from scratch. Okay. I know I have this photo of hair. I love it. I want to get it out there. Or I have this thing in my head. So we're going to create a design. We're going to go with social media for the example. With social media, you may already have some photos on your computer. Super easy on a Mac. You can go here and hit upload, and you can choose this tab at the top and hit upload an image, and you can search anywhere in your computer for that image. The other thing is that you can drag and drop. So if you have an image on your desktop, or you can open a secondary folder, your downloads, and you can bring any image in. Okay, so with this, I'm now going to actually make a jump and show you how to import a image. So I'm going to go to a free image, a copyright-free photo website, and that's Pixabay. And here, all of these images can be used. There's no copyright on them. They will tell you if anything needs to be noted, and you can choose from thousands and thousands and thousands of photos. So if you don't have your own, you haven't taken that hair shot, but you have something you really want to talk about, you can jump on here and grab a photo. There are going to be many ways to do this depending on the computer that you're on, but I'm going to talk about the one is you can literally hit the free download button. The other one is on a Mac or on a PC, I'm sure. You double click and you can actually save the image, okay? So here I'm going to save this image, open it up. You guys won't be able to see, but I'm actually opening it up and just putting it right on my desktop for ease of use. I'm gonna change my share screen so that you can see this in action. So we are going to share my entire desktop with you so that you can see how this works. If anyone can't see, you just let me know. So really simple. I kind of move my screen out of the way. I put on my new test pick. Sorry guys, I cleaned up my desktop for you, so you couldn't see all the crap that I have going. So this is my test pick. I labeled it test. You can see it's the same hair photo as we saw there. In Canva, all I have to do is drag this photo right here and it will upload, okay? Also, if you do not know how to take a screenshot, which you can also do, on a Mac it is hitting Shift, Command, and 4. That will allow you to actually choose the window. If you are on a PC, you have to hit the Alt button and the print screen, which is typically PRT screen. and that will copy that window, and then you have to paste it into Paint, okay? I don't work on a PC, so if you need further information about that, feel free to reach out in the Facebook group and we'll get some information to you. So here we are. I'm gonna just move my Canva back up. I don't need anything on my desktop or on the desktop or any of my files. And I'm gonna start with this. So here we are. I'm just gonna scoot this image over and I'm going to place it here in my, so you can make it larger, you can make it smaller. Maybe you want the whole image to cover. You can make it as big as you want. You can scoot it over so she's more in alignment. You can change the transparency. Maybe you need it to be just a background, very, very light. You can layer other images. So we have tons of elements. You could put another photo directly on top, but let's do an element. Maybe you're wanting a text box of some sort. So if you first want a text box, I'm going to use one that's previously used. You can go through here. There are grids that allow you to do the same thing, just drag those photos into the grids and you can have multiple photos. There are tons of shapes. There are cool frames, even stickers that you can use. So I'm going to pick something just very typical, a rectangle. Now it's too dark. You can't see through. Simply change the transparency. Okay, you can move that to where you would like to talk, whatever your text box is going to say. You can come over here and choose text. Again, the thing I love about Canva is there's the ability to be completely creative, but also use tried and true font combinations. So you can scroll down here, the font combinations, they give you examples. So based on what your message is, you can choose which one of these fit. Or you can go with a heading, subheading, and or a little bit of body, and you can change what font is for each one. So you could make it, so I'll show you two examples. One, I'm gonna use a preformed text or font combination. So I'm gonna use this one. So there we go. It appeared. Maybe I want it bigger. Maybe I want it smaller. It's totally allowed to be personalized. Just by dragging, it will stay in perfect proportion to each other. Okay, so we're gonna just put this here. We're going to change the text on it, typing something simple. If that's too big and I'm like, oh my goodness, it doesn't work in the text box, just highlight it, bring it down to something that's a more reasonable size. Again, if you want to play with it as you grow this, it will automatically grow that text anyways. Maybe you love the bad hair day, but at the bottom, what is in this particular font, maybe you don't like this even being here. That's what the ungroup option is. So ungroup means that now they're two independent things and I can move this away from the bad hair day. Maybe I wanted it a little bit farther. And then maybe I want them to be connected again. You can hit the shift button and click down on bad hair day. So now they're both highlighted again and you can hit group. And now once again, as I move this element, they are connected, okay? And that is nice because you can get the layout that you want and then reconnect them. And that way you have the same option of shrinking and growing to size. And then you can change what's in that second option. Somebody's drawing on the screen, that's fun. I don't know how that happened. So the next option, bad hair day. And I'm just making this up as I go. So I'm here to help, okay? So that would be exactly how you can change the text. An example of doing my own text would be maybe I want some subheading. And so my subheading is in this particular font, Latto, I'm gonna call it, or Latto. It's in an 18 size. That's, you know, I can determine if that's good or for what I'm looking for. But now I can add my subheading. And I'm going to just quickly state making, if I can spell, making, maybe. I've never said that I can do two things at once, you guys. I really can't spell today. Okay, so maybe I now put my tagline or whatever I wanted in here. Again, the great thing is also is when you're looking to get things centered, as you move this, hold it down and move it, it will center to each layer. So it's going to center right now to the gray box. If I move it to the larger box, it's showing me where it is relative to the background photo. And if I keep going, it will actually center to that photo as well. So again, you don't have to be a designer. If you ever need to work on something more close, where you're doing finer detail, all you want to do is zoom so that you can work on it a little bit more closely. Don't spend the whole day squinting at your computer. We don't want that kind of eye strain for you. That's why they give this beautiful zoom option so you can work on the fine details, especially in print, you guys. Something that can look really lined up, like maybe you create, you know, a box out of just lines. It can look lined up, but make sure you zoom into that real fine-tuned zooming to make sure all the corners are really connected. But here we can now change our font to anything that we would decide. So let's just pretend I only had the bottom line. So there we go. We're gonna make it so that people could see it. It's a little bit easier to read maybe. Maybe I don't know what size I want it to be. So instead I can, you know, pull that box in and out rather than guessing with my sizes up there. I can just pull and say, okay, that's a more appropriate size. Yeah, that fits underneath the box better. I like how that looks, right? And so that is the example of how to do it. We've talked about how to screenshot. We've talked about how to import your own images. You can do that using a free service like Pixabay or the imagery that you already have on your computer, maybe your own work. We are also going to talk about quickly the filters that you can also put on photos. So I showed you how to change transparency, but I'm going to finish up with showing you how to change filters on photos. But you guys, this is about as much as you need, because based on the template, this is where you get to be creative. And so now you can make it feel like you. So I'm going to zoom back out. I'm going to just close out with zooming back out. Oh, maybe that's a little bit too small. Okay. And if I was on this large picture, the background picture, the one that the photo I imported from Pixabay, I can go up to the top. You can do all sorts of things. You can crop that photo. You can flip that photo. Maybe you want it to go the other way. It just makes more sense. You can crop it. Maybe there's something in your photo you don't like. You can adjust the brightness, the contrast. You can do that personalizing, or you can throw a filter on it. And so maybe I'm looking for grayscale that's just way more aligned with what I want. And if I love this box, you guys, what I can do is, again, hit this element, hit the shift button, hold it down the whole time, click on the other element. Okay, so that's the second text box. And then I also want to click the gray box. And when you do that, that will highlight everything. If I wanted to duplicate this whole thing, I could go right up here and duplicate. If I wanted them to all be connected, what I need to first do is ungroup what is grouped. So this is grouped. These two elements, the Bad Hair Day and I'm Here to Help, are grouped. So I would ungroup those. Essentially, you can't group a group, okay? Then I would hit my gray box, hold down shift, hit my Bad Hair Day, hit I'm Here to Help, hit the slogan at the bottom, and I would hit group. And now it is all one element. So if I loved that, and you guys, I don't love this, that's the truth of the matter, but I'm doing it purely for an example. But if I loved that, I can move it down, I can shrink it up, and it stays connected and the perspective stays the same. Okay, so it's a way that when you love something, you can move it around and all of those kinds of things. The other thing is that you can click on this whole element. You can copy it. So I copied by hitting Command C. I can go home. I can create a new design. I can start a new design. And if I loved that element, I can paste. I'm hitting Control V. and it will actually take that exact part of a previously designed, you can pull these elements from any of your creations. It doesn't matter if they're in the same aspect, meaning a social media, you know, maybe you're pulling something that was on an email template and you can pull it over to social media, and you can copy paste and you'll see it actually paste directly to the same spot if it's the same aspect, meaning the same size. So you can reuse your content all of the time. So that is our quick demo and quick tutorial. And now we're going to do some work alongsides. I'm going to just pause for a moment to see. I know we have some stuff in the chat box. Can't tell if we have anything that we need to address real quick. Okay, so this will be uploaded, yes, to our social media channel. So for those of you that were joining in just for the quick demo, I hope that the tutorial and I hope that the demo helped. For those of you that are here and ready to co-work and create, we're going to be doing that together here. So we're going to actually have some co-working time, and I'm going to walk through some of the other things in the event anyone has questions. But for those of you that took the time to join us today and really learn about that next level of implementation, I want to say thank you. I hope we've been of assistance, if nothing more than inspiration. And as always, make sure you join our Facebook group on Facebook. Our Facebook group on Facebook. Make sure you join our Facebook group on the Stylish Culture Collective and subscribe to us on YouTube. This video and all the pre-recorded ones are already there waiting. This one will be uploaded by tomorrow morning. And again, thank you so much for starting your Monday with us.